Hi, my name is Kevin. I'd like to introduce myself. I have 25 years experience in painting, detailing, reconditioning, and a huge passion for it. So I have a lot of wealth and knowledge and that I'd like to share with people. And I feel like I've had tons of experience. Also, it's going to be a one-off video. I'm not going to edit it, so you'll already see when I make mistakes and so on and so forth. But today I'd like to make a video on the Rupes Mark III 15, which I recently picked up. I had a Mark II, which is a phenomenal machine. I'm a huge fan of Rupes. They are, I can't say enough about them. I feel like they're, Italian made. They're well built. The performance and the results you get from them are amazing, and they're truly exceptional machines. So I just want to give you my review on it. I picked this machine up probably a couple months ago, and the things they changed, which I notice, are they put like a rubber pad here versus it used to be carbon fiber or plastic carbon fiber, and it would chip and scratch and so on and so forth. But they changed this to rubber, which I thought was really good. They put a much bigger trigger, or the dial up for the trigger speed is bigger. So that as well, I think, is great. It's a little easier to move. The one and the biggest thing I love about this machine is it's torqueier. So with the Mark II, I would notice some pad stall. With the Mark III, it almost never stalls. I'm not a huge fan of running these things at high RPM, or I think they call them OPM, oscillations per minute. But the sweet spot for me is between maybe 3 and 4 here on the trigger speed. It does have a progressive trigger and tons of torque. So I don't notice this machine stall near as much as the 2. You can see these little marks here, the Sharpie. I took a Sharpie and made these little lines. That way I could kind of keep track of the rotation of the pad. So at any rate, I guess I'll give you a real quick demo. This car's been basically fully polished, fully polished with a rotary buffer, Rupes as well, which I'll do another video on that, which is another phenomenal machine. But it's been polished with a medium cut compound and a wool pad, as well as a polish cleaner. And then basically at this point, what I really like about these machines is the fact that they're great at taking swirls out. So I'm comfortable with a buffer, and if you're comfortable with a buffer, you should use it, in my opinion, to level the surface and get the foundation straight, and then follow it up and basically take the swirls out with this machine. So I'll give you a close-up look. It's the Bigfoot pattern, 15 millimeter, which basically means it has 15 millimeters of orbit. That's the size of the pattern. And yeah, truly great machine. These are Rupes pads as well. This is the fine pad, along with their ceramic gloss fine polish. So this is probably my go-to combination. They actually have, well, more than 4, but generally 4, and I think they're reducing it down to 2 now. But they have a blue pad, a green pad, a yellow pad, and a white pad. Blue being coarsest, white being ultra fine. So anyway, I'll give you a quick demo on it. If you're thinking about buying one, just buy it. They're truly phenomenal machines, and I think they're pretty much the best out there. So I like using them. I've been doing this for 25 years, polishing, painting, reconditioning, etc. So I have a lot of knowledge, and a lot of knowledge that I'd like to share with other people. I feel like I have a lot to bring to the table, and that I could provide some good information to other people. I'm not going to live forever, and might as well give the info forward and pay it forward. And so anyway, here we go. So I'll show you what they tell you to do in the class, which is basically, and I start off with a clean pad. I always blow my pads out, which is super important. You could have this pad on the table and pick up some dust and dirt and so on and so forth, and then try and grind it into the paint. So biggest thing in detailing, and especially in my opinion, is working as clean as possible, keeping the car clean, yourself clean, so on and so forth. But at any rate, moving forward, I'll put 4, they say piece size drops, or a little more, to what they call prime the pad. So, and then I turn it down to the 2 speed here. And then basically I want to just let the machine spin, and I want to heat up the pad. they tell you to season the pad or to prime it, to saturate it with the polish. So here we go. They say to keep it in one spot for about 15 seconds. I like to move it around a little bit, and then I like to sit there for 10 or 15 seconds and really season the pad. And that's it, it's seasoned. So you'll want to put the desired amount. And in my opinion, you know, they say 4 or 5 drops. In my opinion, I like to go a little bit less sometimes and just add it as I need it. And then blow the pad out, you know, throughout the panel. So I'll blow the pad out maybe once every panel or once every other panel, depending on the situation. So I'll go ahead and put the amount of material that I'll use for the job, or for this particular door, which would be that. So here we go. I'll just do what they call a second. So this is a section pass, is coming across the panel like so. That's one section pass. And if I were to go, so if I went horizontally, and then if I go vertically, that's another section pass. So it'd be 2 section passes. Sometimes I do between 3 and 4 section passes. They tell you to do what they call a like a test spot to see, you know, how the polish responds to the actual paint, depending on how hard the clear coat is or how soft it is. But here you go. So I'll just do this section. I like to work nice and fluid and smooth, basically I like to follow a ladder technique. So you picture a rung on a ladder, you come across one rung, and then you drop down to another rung, and then you drop down to another rung, and you drop down to another rung. I kind of follow that same rule with painting as well. So if I'm spraying a panel, you know, you have an overlap pattern. So, and that all that goes into technique and whatnot. So basically, the long and short of it is an art, and you want to be as smooth as possible with it, and you want it to look like a ballet. So, anyway, I'll go ahead and show you guys real quick how to do it, and then yeah, we'll go from there. So I like to turn it up to about 3.5. And I like to hold the machine to the panel and let it do the work. If you notice, and hopefully you can hear me, you notice the little black lines on the pad, on the backing plate, are spinning round and round. That basically means that it's spinning and it's correcting paint. If it stalls, or the lines stall, they call that pad stall, which means it's no longer correcting. So you want it, if you look at it, it's spinning, so that means I'm getting good correction. According to Rupes, in all the classes I've been to, and they have phenomenal teachers, they recommend that the slower the better. So, you know, it's how slow? They tell you painfully slow. So something like this would be a great arm speed is what they call it for the polisher. So nice and slow. Let the machine really dig in and do the work. But so basically I'll go, this will be my 3rd section pass is what they call it. So I'm overlapping nicely, and I'm letting the machine do the work. And I basically, so when I polish something, I look at panels within a panel. So this would be a panel, 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 so on and so forth. So I never run across body lines. So for example, there's a body line here, here, and I think with this machine you could, but based on, from past polishing experience with the rotary buffer, you could still do it with that, but it's not really the way to do it. You potentially could burn things. So I like to go across and across and across. I don't ever want to, you know, run over a body line like this. I run across it like this. Then you can sweep down into the next panel per se, and then jump into the next one. So it kind of looks like this versus like this. That would be, in my opinion, incorrect. So yeah, like I said, kind of a little bit lengthy review and just a little bit of polishing techniques. And I'd like to continue to make videos moving forward. I'm going to start making a lot more videos because I have a lot to show people. And So if you're thinking about buying one of these, once again, it's the Rupes Mark III, and it's the 15. According to everybody I've talked to, including the Rupes reps, they'll tell you if you're going to pick one, and I know if some people go between the model 15 and the 21, I would recommend getting the 15. It's a little tighter pattern, works better for smaller vehicles. If you're doing monstrous vehicles, maybe buy a 21, but this is the machine I would buy. So they work phenomenal. So that's my review. And I'll come out here with another video on polishing, because I feel like there's, with a rotary buffer, because I feel like there's a lot to know. And if you're good with one, they're like a scalpel. They're great to use. So until next time.